saw
Hi,
you
Nancy.
dancing.
I know. I gotta get pumped up. This is my Sew with Sarah music. Well, hi, Linda. How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful, Aubrey. How are you doing?
I am doing fabulous. I'm very excited
Beautiful
that
winter day.
a beautiful winter day here in
Mhm.
Ohio too. It's very windy and cold, and it makes me think there's no better time for you guys to spend time in your sewing room when it's cold, right?
That's right.
Uh,
That's right.
So why not hang out with us? Check out a new quilt we're very excited about. So let's kick things off the way that we normally do. If you are new around here and you maybe don't know anything about Hoop Sisters or you're just new to it, maybe you haven't tried a design of ours yet, I would love it if you would put the number 1 in the comments so we can say hello and welcome you. By the way, I'm going to just jump to this part right now. Linda has a beautiful quilt designed that is perfect for beginners. Behind her, I think is what that meant. And she's gonna teach you along the way. So this is gonna be really great if you are a number 1, but you number 2s. I see you. I see you already in there putting number 2.
I saw 3.
Oh, I love the extra numbers that I always see. But here's the deal. It's perfect for number 1s, but number 2, you're going to love this and have so much fun with it too. So whether you are putting a number 1 or a number 2 in the comments, we are super glad you're here and thank you for joining us.
Yes, absolutely.
So my name is Aubrey. I'm just your hostess. The real star of your show today is Miss Linda below me. She's my aunt. She's also the co-founder of Hoop Sisters and the designer of this beautiful quilt that we're going to share with you today. So hi, Linda. Thanks for joining.
Hello, Aubrey. Thank you for the kind words.
She's also owned and operated 2 local quilt shops for 30 plus.
36.
You know how they put the little number changing 36.7 plus years. So she knows her stuff and she's an excellent teacher. So I think you guys are going to have a lot of fun today. All right. So NC Stitcher. I don't know your name, NC Stitcher, but I love this. Linda, hello. You are so talented, she says. He says, I might be a hoop mister. So that's very kind of you. Okay. So let's dive into this today. We're super excited to kick this off. You want to talk about your registration gift? By the way, we made one in blue just for pictures.
Yeah, I did because I had it and they needed pictures. So there you go. So, but it's a cute little kind of a quarter log cabin block that is similar to what's in the quilt. So I thought it went well. And it stitches up really quick. We're going to demo it a little bit. It's got simple quilting, but the quilt that we're talking about today, the Geese in My Cabin quilt, does not have very simple quilting. It has beautiful, stunning quilting. So that would be the difference. But this will give you an idea on the construction of the block.
Which is fantastic. And I will say too, the registration gift is what we call this. So if you register for the event, this gets emailed out to you so you can play with it. Now we are leaving that registration open till 3 p.m. Eastern. Right now, I'm in Ohio. That's Eastern time in Ohio. It's 2:04 where I am. So till 3 o'clock, you got less than an hour now. We'll have Nina, who's in our comments, drop the registration link. So if you didn't register for this event, maybe you're just finding us and you want to try this out. This is a great way to familiarize yourself with the Hoop Sisters technique. Speaking of Nina in the comments, she is your go-to for Hoop Sisters questions. So if we don't get to your question today, or maybe you have something with your cart or your free gift, something personal to your situation, please reach out to her after the live and she will be glad to help you. We will get you all taken care of. So you will see Hoop Sisters dropping stuff in there, Nina dropping stuff in the comments. She's on our team and here to help you. So we will share at the end of today. So don't feel like you have to write that down. We'll make sure to share that again. All right, what are we doing today, Miss Linda?
Okay, so today we're going to reveal our brand new design, which you can already see behind me, but we'll get into detail on it. we're going to do our little registration gift, quilt and the hoop stitch out as a demo. And then tomorrow, well, that's tomorrow actually, we're going to talk about fabric prep. We're going to talk about poly puff, which we'll discuss a little bit later as well, and some threads to pick. So that's our agenda for the next 2 days.
Cool. Okay. All right. So let's get into the reveal. Linda, how do you want to do this? Do you want me to go to the next screen and share like the stats first?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is called Geese in My Cabin, and it's got like a quarter log cabin block plus flying geese going north, south, east, and west. And they make what I call a unit. So let me show them this unit, Aubrey. This is the unit. So this
pretty.
particular quilt has 9 units. And if I show you the back, you can see where the blocks are. There's 4 of the log cabin blocks, 4 of the geese, and then a center block. So that's our unit.
And that quilting is gorgeous.
Yeah.
And let's make sure that we tell the people who put number 1 and new around here, you get the quilting with Hoop Sisters too. So you don't have to worry about purchasing a separate quilting file or doing it on a long arm. It all is included.
And look at the detail with the how the quilting makes the fabric puff out. It really shows here as well.
Oh yeah. So pretty. Okay. And then the one thing that Linda and I did want to, we both said this, we both took a picture of this quilt.
Yeah.
And you did it in Illinois. I did it in Ohio, probably different times of the day. That lower left-hand corner has a little bit of a yellow tint to it, but that's not
not
color.
No. Everything snow white. So
yes.
I hope, and I don't think it looks yellow here, but
no.
I did not get a good picture that didn't show yellow, but look at how that is.
It's really pretty. Really, really pretty. Okay. So those are your quilt details here. It comes in, we want to mention it comes in the 1 size. It's a 6-inch. So you need to make sure you have a minimum of a 6-inch sewing field in order to do this design. And the approximate finished size when you get all done is 48 by 48, but there's no reason you couldn't go bigger.
You could definitely go bigger. I mean, this is your unit, so you just the unit. So this unit measures, let me give it a quick measure. It's about 16 inches square, so you could definitely go bigger. The kits we have, which we're going to show you later, will make this size, which is going to be 3 across, 3 down.
Yeah.
So it's a square.
And it's a really nice size when you sent it to me, and I sent it back, by the way. It was a really nice size, large wall hanging. So that's what you're going to get with it. You're going to get multi-formatted design files in the 6-inch size. And we're also going to go along. We'll get into more details on that, but Linda's got some classes planned, virtual classes. And so you can grab the quilt for $59 on USB or by digital download. And I love that it's beginner friendly. So it's a nice, and also, I don't know, I feel like I've heard you say before, like anytime that you're doing that unit, you're going to make that unit several times.
Yes.
You're just going to get better and better at it.
Well, I think when you're a beginner, that's the best way to learn is to keep repeating. And then all of a sudden it comes as second nature to you. So I think that's very good for a beginner to have something that has a lot of repetition.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. All right. So you want to talk about this?
Yeah. So my favorite part on this quilt, I think it's a beautiful quilt. I do like how, do you see the reds in the picture? How the reds like shade. So there's a light red, a medium red, and a dark red. The same with the grays. You have a light, a medium, you have the white, the medium, and the dark. So it has like an ombre effect with the fabrics. But my favorite part is the secondary quilting. So if you look at this white section here, this is actually 4 units sewn together, and it creates this beautiful secondary quilting design. And I think it makes the quilt. And it is actually this little corner right here So
Mhm.
when 4 of them join together, you get this beautiful, there you go. You get that beautiful secondary quilting pattern. So
Mm.
um, I do a little bit of long arm quilting, and I always look at quilts a little differently because of my long arm quilting experience. And so I love that to add like a secondary quilting design to it. So I was excited to do it with this quilt.
It's very pretty. NC Stitcher says center looks almost like a Celtic
Yeah,
cross.
yeah, it does. You're right. Because of the points on the end right here. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Hmm.
Cool. All right. See all the stuff you can pick up just from looking at it long enough. Okay. So now we're going to move into another really fun part of today where Linda is going to demo the registration gift. And then we'll get into some more details about ordering, the sew along dates, and all that kind of stuff. So don't go anywhere. We're about to get into the fun part, which is watching the machine going and Linda telling us what she's doing. So, all right, ready when you are.
I'm ready. Hold on, I gotta move my microphone so you can hear me. Okay, so here is our cute little registration gift, and it is very similar in design, the way the blocks put together as what's in the actual quilt. Um, and you just need 3 colors of fabric. So I have my red and white dot, and I have my black and white dot. And then the only other thing you need is a piece of fabric for the backing. So I've got that all ready to go. And then I'm going to need water soluble thread, which I have in my needle right now, my quilting thread, and I also use Aurifil for my piecing thread. I've already stitched step 1, which is the outline that you see inside my hoop. And the directions say to use water soluble thread, but just so you could see it, water soluble is white. It won't show up on the camera. So I went ahead and did it in gray so you could see the outline. So it just gives me the outline of my block. And the first step I'm going to do is to put my little red or my fabric 1 right down in the corner. And I will stitch that down. So there's my little red square stitched down. And this is the water soluble thread that you see right there, that white thread, and that will wash away. And the purpose of that is so when your quilt is completely done, and now this isn't a quilt, this is just a single little mug rug, but if my quilt were completely done and I go ahead and wash it, this stitching will disappear, so that sometimes when you sew your seams together, you don't want to have regular thread there because it'll show. So the wash away will go away. So now I'm putting on my piecing thread, and like I said, I like to use Aurifil. You can use any kind of neutral type thread that you like, that your machine likes. So the next step is to take this fabric, which is my fabric 2, and I'm going to place that right side down, right next to the red. And because the red is darker, I like to make sure that this fabric covers it because it's lighter, so that after I stitch the seam, I don't see a little red showing through. And then we'll flip it up. And I like to use my fingernail and just give it a little finger press. And then the next step is it's going to tack this fabric down. And we are actually on step number 4, and it will tack it down. And I'm going to continue now building this block with my white Aurifil thread. So this looks pretty good here. I don't have to trim, but if yours is a little bit too much fabric, you could give it a little bit of a trim. I'm going to trim it here on the side. And I'm going to trim that red just a little bit because my next step is to put more of the polka dot with the white background. And I don't need to see a lot of red there. So that would be this fabric would be next. Put it right side down. Make sure I cover up my red fabric right there. Let it stitch that seam. Again, I'm going to flip it right side up, give it a finger press with my fingernail. And now it's going to, this is step 6, and it will tack down this fabric. So I'll just keep this nice and smooth. Same thread. Now this is going to require a little bit of trimming. I've got too much fabric up here. So I'm just going to use my bigger hoop scissors. I find if I have to trim a fair amount of fabric, I do like these bigger ones for the bigger pieces. I like my minis for appliques. I'll just tidy that up so I have probably a scant 1/4 inch left. And then we're on step 7. And that's where I will take my fabric 3, my smaller piece, and I will put that right side down, even up my raw edges, stitch the seam. Going to flip it over and give it a finger press. And it's going to tack the top of that little strip down for me. And again, I'm just going to trim that, make it look nice and tidy. And then the next piece will go right here, and I'll put that right sides together, keeping my raw edges even, and let that stitch the seam. So you can see how quick this is. So this is step number 10. And the directions say to carefully remove the hoop from the machine. And I can change my bobbin thread if I want. I'm going to go ahead and leave my white in, but I'm going to carefully remove this, flip it over, and hopefully you guys can see the outline of my block. And I just have a plain white. I will take my backing fabric, lay it over that stitching, make sure it's covered, center it the best you can. And if you remember to hoop your battleizer with the rough side down, with the rough side facing the back of the hoop, it kind of grabs it for you, which is really nice. So I can turn it back over, put my hoop back on the machine. And I always just peek under there. Looks like it's okay. Make sure it stayed flat. And then I'm going to go ahead and put my quilting thread on. Actually, I'm supposed to do water-soluble thread, but I'm not going to follow my own directions because it's just going to do an outline so I can stitch right over it again. So now I want to make sure that's nice and smooth. I did peek under there. My back is flat. And we'll go ahead and stitch my outline. And that just held down all of my loose edges. And before I go on and do the quilting step, it's a good idea to make sure that my back is okay. And my back is okay now. I didn't have anything flip over on me. Better to check than not check, and then something's not right. Okay, so with the red thread, we'll continue with the quilting. Aubrey, this has a couple of minutes to sew. If you want to bring the slides back up, I can move my camera and show the finished product in a little bit.
Sure. You want me to talk? I got fabric kit slides. You want me to talk about that?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Okay. Well, she's getting her camera situated. Let's talk about fabric kits. Everybody loves a good fabric kit. Okay. So gorgeous fabric kit. Linda actually has the kit there, and we'll show it to you. And bless you, Sarah. We'll share it in just a second. But this is jam-packed with some beautiful Michael Miller fabrics. So I love that it has, someone just said a minute ago, I didn't see who it was, that red is their favorite color. I love that it's like got some gray to it. I think it's the perfect pop of color mixed with kind of that gray that makes you think of like winter. So beautiful color choices, Linda. So you're going to get I'm not even going to read all this. There's a lot of fabric in this thing.
I can actually show it when I get.
Okay, we'll show it in just a second. And then just so you know, the binding fabric is in there. The backing fabric is not included. And the kit is enough to make the 48-inch by 48-inch finished size that you see on the wall behind Linda. I did know. Let me actually find that question here real quick because I did star it. Let me see. Yes. Okay. So Nancy asked, will the fabric kit make the size hanging on the wall? The answer is yes.
Yes.
If you're going to make it any bigger than that, like if you're planning on really going big, you might want to get 2. So that it does make the size hanging on the wall behind Linda. Okay. All right. You want me to keep going? Or are you ready?
You know what? I can fake it. How about
or
that?
you can show the fabric, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. Are we going here?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the part I want to fake is the machine is still stitching, but when you're finished, you're just going to take the block out and you're going to pink the edges like a 1/4 inch away or so, just with your nice big clunky pinking shears, and you got a cute little block. So this sample, I did change the bobbin thread on the back, so that looks kind of pretty on the back. So there you go. So that's it. And I'm gonna stop the machine because it's loud and noisy. Okay, so let's talk about the fabric kit. So here's our fabric.
Yes.
And you can see even this picture had a little yellow hue. I don't know what was going on. It didn't like that brilliant white because it's a beautiful Michael Miller Cotton Couture Snow White fabric. So it's really, really pretty. So here's your Cotton Couture in the white. Beautiful, soft. I love that fabric. This is also Michael Miller. This is a garden pin dot in nickel. So it's a really pretty soft gray with little white dots. That's what I think gives the quilt that ombre effect, is because we have gray and white, and then we have white and dark gray, and it just really all flows together beautiful. So this is another pin dot, garden pin dot in, I don't think it's beach, but that's the number they gave me. So it's white with little black dots. And this sample, by the way, I was out of the gray dots. So I just use a solid gray. And then here's the red. So this is how it works. You have your lights, your mediums, and your darks in this color. And then you have the same thing with the reds, lights, mediums, and darks. So this is the dots. This is Michael Miller Cotton Couture. We have a red, and then we also have a pomegranate. So that's your fabric kit.
It's really pretty.
Yeah. I love how it kind of shades.
It's quite a bit of fabric too. So it's
It is because you have 2.5 yards of the white, 2.5 yards of the white. This little pin dot, you have 3/4 of a yard. The two reds, you have a 1/2 yard each. And then this one, you have a yard. And then this gray, you have 1.25 yards. And the binding is this gray on this quilt. So we included that as well.
pretty.
So that's the kit.
Okay. All right. Anything else you want to demo before we talk Dream Puff?
No, I think we can talk Dream Puff because that's something new, I think, that we haven't talked about ever, right?
Right. Okay, I'm going to pop this up on the screen and let you kind of talk about it. And if you have something you want to show, we can do that too. But
Okay.
I'm excited for this.
Okay, so if you're number 2 or 1.5, you've probably heard us talk about the dream wool or the optional wool that we put in our blocks. And on my little sample block here on the table, you can see the dimension that the wool or the Dream Puff will give you. I like to use Dream Puff with this because it's white. The color is snow white. And our Dream wool is kind of a cream color. So that's why I like the Dream Puff. And it's 100% polyester. So if you have any allergies to wool, this is not going to bother you because it's 100% polyester. And it gives you that same beautiful puffiness that the wool does. So I do have, maybe bring my camera up. Hopefully this will show. This is the Dream Puff. This is the Dream Wool. You can see the color difference. Mm-hmm. And when I put my Cotton Couture on it, I don't know if you can see. Yeah, I can see it. Mm-hmm. You can see this. It kind of looks like our picture, Aubrey.
Yes. Did you use just regular wool in that one corner?
No, I don't think I did. No, because I've been using Dream Puff exclusively for quite a while. I love it. I love the fact that it's snow white. So if there's any white in your fabrics at all, and it works just as beautifully as the wool does. I press the edges the same, it cuts the same, it operates the same. I just like the color better. So There you go. There's my little Dream Puff. And we have those available, correct?
Yes. Now we are saying the throw size is probably best size for this project. And we should have that in stock very soon. But it's sort of like a pre-order right now, but we will have that. And Linda, you have been using it for a while and kind of saying, I think I like this better than wool. I think this, and we just had Tammy start using it here in Ohio, and she's like, I love it. She really likes it.
Yeah, I finally sent some to you guys, and even Annie liked it too. So
yeah, Sarah's going to pop a quick question up. Do you flatten the edges of Dream Puff like you would have done with the Dream Wool?
Absolutely.
And I think we're actually talking all about, I think this is on the docket for tomorrow too.
Right.
But yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I do flatten it. It works exactly the same way. We still cut it. We still press the edges. And the reason, I have a lot of customers that'll say to me, I don't think I need to press my edges. That's fine. You don't have to press your edges. But if your machine catches it, we don't want to be liable. So we press the edges, and it takes just a minute. I have them all cut, and while my machine is doing something that takes a while, I'll sit and press some edges. I don't do it all at once because I get bored. So I like to do a little bit here, a little bit there. But yeah, so it works exactly the same way. And you can see the dimension it gives you with the quilting. So pretty.
Okay, I have one more question I want to pop up here that's applicable for right now. And then I think we should get into pricing, discounts. I'm seeing a lot of questions about that. So we'll definitely get into that. But Linda, Nancy's asking, do you use the battleizer with the Dream Puff?
Absolutely. Battleizer is always step number one. Hoop your battleizer and and stitch your placement stitch, and then add your optional wool or Dream Puff. That's always how we're going to do it. It just gives you the stability behind it, because this is not the wool or the Dream Puff. It's just not stable enough to handle all that quilting by itself. So we always do the battleizer first.
Okay, good question, Nancy. All right, so if it's okay with you, I think we'll get into workshop pricing and all that good stuff, because I'm seeing some questions about it. Joyce says she uses Dream Puff all the time. So she must like it if she's using it all the time. We like it too. All right, so let's dive into this, you all. Always the best time to get one of our new designs is right when we do the workshop, because we like to give you a little bit of a discount if you add a couple other things to your cart. So let's talk about workshop pricing. Geese in My Cabin is available on USB or digital download for $59. You can pick which way you want to get it, and it's $59. Now, if you want to add something like battleizer, the trimmer, the fabric kit, maybe another design that is in the new arrivals category or collection, if you do that, you're going to save 10%. So that's a little bit of a cost savings to you, and that is only available. It expires tomorrow, Wednesday, December 10th at midnight Eastern. So only during our 2-day workshop launch can you save an extra 10% by adding some other things to your cart. Now, there are some exclusions to that 10%, things like the wool, the poly, threads, pre-cut fabric, strip stick, and the bias tape maker. I think you're going to actually be using the bias tape maker during your sew along as well. And the only reason we do that is because it's not true. It's not really a Hoop Sisters prop. So we're just following the guidelines to sell those other products, but we love them. We recommend them. They're in our instructions. They're all fantastic. So you might see a couple exclusions as you're shopping online. So just be aware of that. The other thing that we're doing today and tomorrow only is free shipping. It'll happen both of these things will happen automatically when your cart has the right stuff in it. But free shipping within the contiguous US when your cart hits $135 after all of your discount comes out, okay? So that's going on again through Wednesday, December 10th at midnight, and then it's gonna go away. So it's always a good time to order during the workshop. Okay, so we talked pricing. We're gonna have Nina drop the link so you guys can go over to the website, shop around, check that out. There were a couple extra pre-cuts of fabric, but those things tend to go quickly. So I don't know if they're still there. But we basically today we did something we don't normally do, which we stitched the free gift, the registration gift, instead of the design. But that's because you have quite the agenda. You want to talk about your sew along?
Yeah, make that nice and big so I can see it.
Oh, yes. There you go.
Thank you. Okay,
Yes.
so this is our sew along details. Monday, January 5th at 11 o'clock, we're going to stitch the log cabin block. And I did see a few questions pop by. They were asking if we still use battleizer. Yes, we always do battleizer. And then we add our extra Dream Puff or our wool. So that the log cabin block will be Monday, January 5th at 11 o'clock Eastern time, which is noon Central time. I don't know the rest.
Yeah.
And then Monday, January 12th, same time, we're going to stitch the geese block and the center block. So we have a north, south, east, and west facing geese block. They're all exactly the same, except for a tiny little bit of quilting at the bottom of it, which makes them different. And then the following Monday, January 19th, we're going to join some blocks and add some backing, because this is actually backed you can back one unit at a time. So can we show my unit real quick? This is a unit. So we're going to back this unit and quilt it. and then we'll stitch our back units together. That was a little hint for you. Okay. All right. And then we're not going to do the last week on a Monday because I'll be driving back from watching my grandkids for a week from Michigan. So we're going to do it on Tuesday, the 27th. And then I'm going to show you how to add sashing, but how to make it decorative. Should we give them a sneak peek
Yes.
of the sashing? Okay. So here you go.
It's so cool.
This is your decorative sashing that'll be on the back of your quilt. I could probably show this, Aubrey.
Can you see it? I can see it, but I know where it is. I've seen it up close.
There's your sashing. And you can just add a little decorative stitch to it. So I like to do something fun on the back. So I'll be showing you how to make that cute little decorative sashing.
Okay, cool. All right, so those are the sew along dates. Now, I know that you're going to want to see these dates again. I just know. So here's the deal. At the link that Nina's dropping, if you scroll down, there's like a couple different pop out like question and answer type section, the dates, the topics, and the live links for these are all right there. So we got you all taken care of. You will also receive that in your email. So no worries. It will remain on our website for you to get to the live. We send text messages. So don't feel like you need to write that all down. You'll be okay. We'll have Nina keep dropping that link. It's right on our website. You can find Winter Sew Along and scroll down and you'll have all the dates, live links, topics. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We know that's important for sure. Okay. We also have a live giveaway happening, but here's what I think we should do. You tell me what you think, Linda. I think we should do this live giveaway. And then we should hang out and answer the questions that Sarah's starring questions.
Okay.
And then we can make sure we get all those answered. So that's what we're going to do. So if you have not yet typed the word geese, if you have, don't worry about it because it only enters you once. But here's your last chance to do this. And I'm going to share my screen. We're going to pick a winner. Sarah's going to keep starring the questions that are flying in like crazy. So we answer those. I used to be able to talk, do all the things. It's just busy over there in the comments. I appreciate all the help from Nina and Sarah. Okay, let's share this screen and we are going to pick a winner. And if you typed this word, you've basically just entered yourself into the live viewer giveaway to win $50 in Hoop Sisters store credit. So I see that number is going up. Good job, guys. Okay. At least I didn't make it the word sashing because that was a nightmare. I think geese was safe. You never know.
Did you have trouble with sashing? Did you have trouble with it?
Oh my gosh. It was like dashing and like all sorts of things. Now I'm like gun shy when I pick a word. Did that share okay?
Yeah. Oh, well, I see it.
Okay. Here we go. I'm drawing. We're doing it. Somebody's going to win $50 in store credit and go shopping. Okay, we've got Linda May. Congrats. Okay, that's so great. Linda May, here's what you are going to want to do. You are going to, there we go, email Nina. It's the best way to do it because then she can look up your account if you have one and we can get you $50 in Hoop Sister store credit added to your account. So congratulations.
Yay.
For us. Okay, I think we're going to move into Q&A.
Okay.
Oh yeah, go ahead, Sarah. That's great. No, go for it.
Some of these are just comments.
You pop them up. I'll read them. Linda can answer them.
All right.
What's the number for Hoop Sisters groupie? Okay, so number 1, number 2. Let's say number 10. We'll just make it 10 from now on.
There you go.
That's funny, Dana. Okay, what else you got, Sarah? All right, quilting included is awesome, isn't it?
It's always included. That's what we pride ourselves in, right? From the very beginning.
Yep. For years and years. So yes, it is awesome. Okay. Jennifer on Facebook says one unit would make a beautiful pillow.
It certainly would. Yes.
Yes. You should do that.
Me or Jennifer?
Jennifer should do it and then post it in our VIP group. Okay. Nancy on YouTube says, so when using wash away thread, what goes in the bobbin?
So we don't change out the bobbin, Nancy. We use the, in our bobbin, we always have just a typical machine embroidery bobbin thread, unless we say otherwise. And this whole quilt, it's going to be the machine embroidery bobbin thread. We only put it in the needle, because if that washes out, it doesn't, everything else will come apart. And that's what we want. So we don't have to worry about the bobbin.
And Linda, I know that you can't see the comments as easily from where you're viewing on your iPad, but lots of groupie numbers have been dropped. Oh, yeah. Lots of 10s in the comments. Yeah. All right, what else we got, Sarah? Okay, why are you using water-soluble thread?
Okay, that's a very good question. And we answer that question frequently. So if you look at this block, you can see the basting stitch around the outside of it is white, and it's actually water-soluble thread. And that is so when I stitch that to another block, if there's a basting stitch, and if I had like a gray or some other color or even a white, and it was showing, like here, I can see it just a little bit, I can dab that with some water and it'll just disappear. So that's why we use the water-soluble thread. And you'll see we pretty much use it. We use it usually to do your placement stitch, first of all, on your battleizer. Then we use it to tack down your optional wool or dream puff. And then we use it to tack down your first piece of fabric. And after that, we're on to normal thread until we get to the very last step, which outlines something. And then again, we use the water soluble. It's strictly so that when you sew your blocks together, you don't have actual thread that you need to pick out because it's showing.
Okay. Okay, so Spilling the Diversity says, it's like paper piecing in the hoop.
Yes, ma'am. It is.
You got it.
Stitch and flip, we call it.
Yeah, unless you're me and get it confused and it's a flip and stitch.
But you got to stitch before you can flip.
I know. I have to like stop myself. Okay, so Nancy on Facebook says, I was a little suspect of the backing sticking to the sticking to the back of the design, but it works beautifully.
Yeah, it really does. It kind of just grabs it. I still always check, and then I double check, because sometimes when you're sliding your hoop back on the machine, you might hit the edge of it and flip it. But yeah, it does work very beautifully. You don't need to use any sprays or glue or tape or anything.
Do you remember what you guys used to call that? You haven't said it in a while.
What?
Well, at least Mom did. I thought you did too. You guys would say, you get a Dunlop. It'll Dunlop over.
It Dunlops over.
I'm like, is this another made up Hoop Sisters word?
No, that's just a silly thing that we do.
All right.
She might have answered this, but
Oh, okay. Sarah said you might have answered this, but she hasn't been listening to what you're saying because she's in the comments. Is the bobbin thread cotton or polyester?
On my machine, I use the polyester. It's a very thin 60 weight bobbin thread. I would think most of them are polyester because cotton's going to leave a lot of lint.
Okay. She had not answered that, by the way, Sarah. Okay.
So what holds a quilt together?
I think she
asked that right after the
Yeah.
water soluble.
Yeah, she was asking that right after the water soluble question. So
Maybe we answered the question already.
Yeah, the Vanish Light is only, yeah, we've already answered it.
We're not using it to sew the blocks together.
Right.
We're just using it to tack the edges around the block.
Right. How much battleizer do you need?
Well, hold on.
She's looking.
I'm looking.
We're checking. Diane on YouTube said, no, a Dunlop is when your belly Dunlops over your waistband.
Oh, that's another type of Dunlop.
It's not a sewing Dunlop. It's a Thanksgiving Dunlop.
I would say for this quilt, depending on how frugal you are, you could get by with a little more than 5 yards. I would just, yeah, I don't think five's enough because we have 5 yards and 15 yards. 15 yards is going to be more than you need, and 5 yards isn't going to be quite enough.
Okay. That is hilarious. I just saw a funny comment. Sorry. Got
What about the
distracted.
scam?
Yes. I gotta put that up we gotta put that up in a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mary on YouTube says, does your quilt have Dream Puff in it? Your sample.
Absolutely. Yep. I pretty much use Dream Puff exclusively for the last year or so.
She's converting us all.
Oh,
Okay, can you use Battleizer alone?
of
Skip all the
course.
wool or puffs.
Of course. That's what this little design, this is just Battleizer.
Yep.
And you can do it on the quilt as well. You won't get quite as much dimension. You see how those little guys are just poking right out there, but it'll still be beautiful. You can definitely use Battleizer alone.
All right.
This is kind of a two-part question. This gal is not even sure what Battleizer is, so maybe.
Okay, so Sarah said this is a two-part question from Kesha because she asked another question as well.
Okay.
And she's saying how there's two parts. This is the first part. How newbie friendly is this project? And she said, she also commented, I don't even know what Battleizer is. So we
Okay.
definitely need to say that too.
So newbie friendly, I'm going to say when we say newbie friendly, we assume you know how to use your machine, right? So that's step number one. We're not showing you how to operate your machine. We're going to hope that you know how to do that. And I think, and some of you can comment, I think we have pretty darn good directions. And
They'll tell you in the comments.
They're very step by step. They have a photo for every or an image for every step. We tell you what thread to use. We tell you what fabric to use. We tell you where to trim, everything. So I think because of that, it's very newbie friendly. And again, like I said earlier, when you repeat something a lot, you become very, very good at it. And this one unit has 4 of these log cabin blocks, has 4 of the geese blocks in one center. So when you repeat that, you're gonna start doing it without even reading the directions.
And there's lots of comments backing you up saying the instructions are incredible, but this is also a really cool time to do it because there's the sew along component.
Mm-hmm.
So not only are the instructions really great and clear, you're going to also get to hang out with Linda 4 times throughout January, and she'll be teaching along the way as well. So I feel like that's a really great time. Anytime that we do a sew along or something longer than the 2-day workshop, it's good for beginners.
Mm-hmm.
If we aren't able to watch, will we be able to watch later? Always. Yes, you will. Okay, that's another good question. No, everything is going to be separate. So you can pick and choose what you want. Some of you have stocked up on Battleizer and you just don't need Battleizer. And some of you want to do your own colorway. So you want just the design and not the kit. So everything will be separate. And if you, we'll have Nina keep dropping that link. When you go to the Winter Sew Along page, you can just add to cart what you want and you'll have automatically whatever discount applies to what your cart looks like will go in there. But it is separate. The design's separate. The fabric kit is separate. The Battleizer is separate. We haven't even talked about the trimmer by George. Highly recommend the trimmer by George if you're new as well. So, but no, it is separate.
Okay, I'm so sorry. Might have answered this, but
Terry asked, would this pattern work if you added the backing and used sashing?
That's what we're doing.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
But we're doing it by the unit, Terry.
Okay, yeah.
We're adding, you can see these are a bunch of different blocks. These are 9 different blocks. We're adding a backing to this and quilting around some of the details, which I'll get into the workshop. And then when we join this quilted unit to the next quilted unit, that's where the sashing comes in to cover up the raw edges. So you can add it obviously to the whole thing if you want, but it gives it some nice detail to add it, to do it by the unit.
Okay.
I hope that answers your question.
This design will definitely make perfect flying geese easier. Yeah. Hi, DV.
Yeah, that's true. I was stitching these out the last couple days, and look at these points. They're perfect.
Perfect points without the stress.
Yes.
Oh gosh, I don't know the answer to this. Do you, Linda? It says what?
16.
Say it again.
16.
16 inches square.
Yes.
Okay.
It's actually probably 15 3/4, but we can say 16.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, I
Susan.
love this.
Oh yeah. Okay. So Susan said, "Did you hear about the scam? I keep ordering my husband's Christmas presents, but fabric keeps showing up. It's happened twice."
Yeah, that's fun.
hilarious. That's a good one. What else you got, Sarah? Okay, Melody on YouTube said, "Is there a cost for the sew along?" No, ma'am. Anyone can watch the sew along, but if you order the stuff, you can actually sew along. But the 4 sessions that are happening in January with Linda teaching, there is no additional cost for that. Are the scissors discounted? Yeah, the scissors should be included in the 10% when you get 2 things. So if you get the design and the scissor, that should give you 10% off. If you have any problem, reach out to Nina. We'll get you helped out.
Okay,
Last.
there's 2 more after this that are not really specific to this, but this would be the last specific.
For the
Okay.
back.
Okay, can you show the back of the quilt behind you?
Come with me and I will.
And maybe I did see a question said, I'm still confused on the sashing. So maybe while you're showing
Okay. Okay. You know what? How about I turn it around? Let me turn it, because then it'll be easier.
All right. Well, while she's doing that, I'm also going to let's talk about this real quick. So tomorrow we are coming back live. At the same time, we will answer more questions then. So if we didn't get to anything that you asked, you can reach out to Nina directly, or we can answer you tomorrow. But tomorrow we're going to talk about kind of getting organized and ready for the sew along portion of the event. And we're going to talk, Linda's going to teach on fabric prep, poly puff prep. That's a lot of P's. That's kind of hard to say. And then picking threads is another thing that she's going to talk about today. Or not today, tomorrow. Okay, let's check it out.
Okay, let's see. Hopefully you can see. I'm trying to hold an iPad.
I
and get it
know.
centered. So hopefully you can see this is the back of a unit, and you can see the stitching on there. So that's the quilting. That's what I use to sew the embroidered front to the back in this pattern. So I have this pretty quilting. So I backed each unit with the quilting. And then when you sew them together, you're going to have a raw edge here. So that's when we cover it up with our pretty sashing. So that might help answer the other question that you had. Can you guys see it okay?
I think so.
Okay.
And this is definitely also a topic during the sew along. So
Yes.
you're going to be getting into that. I've also seen a question a couple times, Kesha, about XXX files. No, we don't have that. I'm not sure what that is. That will not be included. Okay. So again, tomorrow we're going to talk more in depth on fabric prep, poly puff prep, and we're going to talk about picking threads. So come back tomorrow for that. And of course, if you have any questions at all, I think we kind of hit most of them, Sarah. If you want to do if you have anything else, let me know. But if we didn't answer your question, we didn't see it come through, or things get a little crazy in the comments to keep up with, but you can always reach out to Nina. Her phone number and email is there on the screen for you.
I do have 2 that are not specific to the sew along.
Okay, 2 more things we'll answer quick. Nancy, is it possible to pre-order the quilt hangers? Let's talk about the quilt hangers. We ordered the quilt hangers a while ago, and I just talked to that vendor today, and I'm being told the first set is going to ship to us hopefully tomorrow. And at that point, we're going to talk about, I did place a secondary order, and we're going to talk about putting up another pre-order for that. But at this time, until I see that first order ship, we're just going to hold and fill the ones that we originally got. Did I answer that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Norma says, do you offer gift certificates at the website? Yes, we do. I'm not sure if it's called a gift certificate or a gift card. Here's what I would do, Norma. I would call Nina.
It's a gift card.
Gift card. Okay. Or search gift card. How'd you find it? You said?
It's under Shop by Collection.
Shop by
and it's a gift
collection,
card.
gift cards, or get a hold of Nina. She can help you. Yes, we do. Okay.
All right.
I think we did it. But again, y'all, if you have any questions we didn't answer, please reach out. We're here to help you. And we will be back again tomorrow, Linda.
Mhm.
Same
We'll be-
time.
Same time, same channel.
That's right. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Have fun
Bye.
shopping. We can't wait to do this with you.
See you tomorrow.